This is my trader spotlight with Dr. Slater and her partner Aaron. And I'm doing this spotlight because I think it's important to highlight that MC, it's bigger than crypto. It's bigger than CF, FG. This is a tool that can be used in a wide variety of markets in a number of different ways. It's been so humbling and amazing to see traders from all sorts of different backgrounds use Market Cipher to craft their own strategies in their own communities, and to see you two, start a whole career, a broad-based career in the world of trading using our tool has been a sight to see. So I'm welcoming Dr. Slater and her friend Aaron to the channel. How you guys doing?
Good,
Yeah, great,
good.
man.
Great to be on the
Thanks for
channel.
having us. Yeah,
Yeah,
man. Thanks for the opportunity to let us showcase this, man. It means a lot.
no problem, you two. I know Kirsten, you in particular, you've been here for a number of years. The space, there's a soft spot in our heart for your channel, and that you put good info out. I love your shorts, and
Yeah,
everyone who's watching this, make sure that you like, and I'll put their YouTube links in the description so you guys can go ahead and follow them.
Awesome.
And so, either of you two can start, but tell me how this trading journey started and how you two came to find each other.
Yeah. Do you want me to kick
you
off,
go on.
Kirsten?
Yeah, you go first.
Yeah, it's an interesting story. I mean, my backstory is, I've always been interested in investing and trading throughout my whole journey. I kind of took on the passion from my dad. My dad was always into investing and trading and stuff like that. And when I was younger, he kept sharing that kind of, knowledge with me, books constantly. I didn't really get it when I was young. And then later on, as I progressed, like I kind of saw that it was really open to a lot more people and it was accessible. And I think that was the next point for me. It was accessible, and that's kind of where I kicked off. And in terms of Kirsten, like we connected through Instagram and started sharing ideas in the last bull cycle, especially around altcoins, the wins, the losses, the fun of it. And we also connected over Cipher B because we were both using Cipher B and Market Cipher, and that's kind of how we connected and joined forces.
Nice. And how about you, Kirsten?
Yeah, for me, my brother actually worked at an investment bank, so he's 2 years older than me, right? So when I was 19, he said that there was like a part-time job just going there. Nothing sexy, of course, just customer service. But when I was at the bank, he had friends that were on the trading desk, and that's the first time I ever saw that. And I said to
Mm.
him, I want to do that. And he's just like, nah, you're not going to be able to do that, right? Because I wasn't studying, yeah, I wasn't studying finance or anything like that. But I always had it in the back of my mind that that's what I want to do one day. That was a long time ago, more than 10 years ago. So, and then as Aaron said, were both using Market Cipher B at the same time during the previous bull cycle, and he reached out to me. And Aaron's exceptional with his risk management, so he actually taught me a lot about risk management. And yeah, we just carried on going from there.
There's some interesting takeaways from that then. So Aaron, you come into trading as almost, as a common man like most people do. This is a trade that is, when you get into it, it's painted as being, anyone can do it. But it is one of the hardest, businesses out there. And when Kirsten got into trading, the people in her life were saying, "Don't do this." You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like that, with me, with the people in my life too. Anytime like someone close to me says that they want to get into trading, I always tell them to, wait a second, think about it a little bit before you do it. And it's rare that me and my brother are both in trading, and it's rare that you have
Yeah.
like two people in the same family that get into it because it's a tough business, but
Yeah,
um,
it's interesting what you say there. I think, you're right. Like a lot of people that see the successes or, the Instagrams and all those kind of things say, oh, I'm going to do trading and I'm going to be successful. And you're right. Like similar to you, I always say, wait, hold on for a second. Do you really want to get into this? Have you got the right mindset? But, one thing I would say is that, throughout the journey that I've been on and Kirsten's been on as well, is that I think trading is definitely probably the hardest thing you can achieve, but at the same time, it forces you to really work on self development faster. like a lot of people that don't trade, I feel don't work as hard on themselves, maybe potentially, and you have to work on yourself to be a successful trader.
It's true. Yeah.
I agree 100%. I think that trading's fast tracked my growth, and I'm already getting older, and I still have a lot of growing. So who knows
Yeah,
how slow I would have been without trading.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
trading
It
has definitely
forces you
made
to
me.
face yourself, isn't it?
Oh yeah, I feel like I have. Even though I'm clean shaven, I feel like internally I have like the beard of a 10,000-year-old wizard doing this stuff. So yeah. So do one of you guys want to like share your screen and
Yeah.
Yeah.
so you guys trade Forex. Is that all you trade, or do you trade like all the traditional markets, or what is your? How do you
We
hit the
focus Forex,
markets?
but I'll let Aaron talk about his portfolio because he's more diversified than I am. But for trading, we focus Forex. I would say, yeah.
Yeah. Trading, we love Forex. Liquidity wise is awesome. So we like that. I think as well what we found was with Market Cipher, if there's a lot of liquidity, the waves look cleaner. There's less, I guess, like Kirsten likes to say, shark teeth. There's cleaner waves, there's rolling waves. It's a lot easier to read. But in terms of Market Cipher, we use it on everything. Like we have stocks, crypto. We love crypto as well, obviously. But from a trading day-to-day perspective, we love Forex.
And why do you like a Forex on like the intraday trading? Because I'm oftentimes an intraday trader with my VWAP strategy. So what about Forex makes it good for day trading?
I think the best thing is that because there's sessions. I'm not saying that every other market doesn't have sessions. There's certain times in the day that there's more volume than others. London, New York, Asia session, and we find that because there's volume during those sessions, there's good setups. Really, that's really all, and the patterns play out because there's liquidity.
Yeah, London's quite good to us usually. New York is midnight our time, which is unfortunate, but New York's
Mm.
also got some really good moves actually. Yeah.
And by liquidity, you mean the ease it is for people's orders to fill. But is there more to that? Like, do patterns actually play out more reliably and things like that? Like, what are the why is liquidity so important?
Yeah, definitely. Like patterns. Yeah, go Kirsten, cover that one if you want.
Oh, sorry. No, I was just gonna sorry to cut you off, but I was just gonna say I think the time to hit take profit is just so quick, especially off of New York. Like you wouldn't have to hold a trade for long if you don't want to. I mean, we prefer to swing trading anyway, but if you're gonna do the day trading, like you could hit such a big move so quickly off of New York. So, like if you're the type of person who's uncomfortable holding a trade, I think that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Nice, I like that. So do you want to walk us through a significant trade that you guys took recently?
Yeah.
How
Well,
you used Market Cipher to get into it and explain the
yeah.
rationale.
I've got this one set up on USD JPY because it's actually a call that we gave out on Sunday in the Discord. And it's one that ended up playing out with the strategy that we're using. So did you want me to break down that one?
Sure.
Yeah, okay. So I've got just the summary of the strategy just so people can see it and understand it, and then I'll show you on the actual candle how it plays out. But essentially we'll just look at this for now. So we're using market cipher B, the waves on the oversold and the overbought level to catch the wick on a higher time frame candle. So this is what it would look like basically. If you're using on any of the lower time frame paired up with a higher time frame, you want to catch this is leading to the wick on that candle. And that's the benefit of catching that candle in such a fashion is that your stop loss is probably going to be in the safest place that it can be, which should increase your win rate and you're going to get the maximum return for that period of time. Obviously, you don't know how large that higher time frame candle is going to be when it closes, but that's not the point. You take what the market can give you, and that is what we're trying to achieve with our strategy, and we think it's very mechanical as well. So I'll show you with the call that we gave out on USD JPY. I said that it was going to have a weekly 1 hour long this week, and that was on Sunday. I called it. So on the 11th, I said that that's what was going to happen. So I'm just going to mark up the open of the weekly time frame on USD JPY, and then I'll drop back down to the 1 hour time frame to show you the entry criteria, and that would
Okay.
be the mechanical entry criteria for it.
And by mechanical, you just mean like step by step.
Yeah,
a replicable kind of process.
absolutely, because I see a lot of strategies where people rely a lot on judgment, which is fine if you're an experienced person, but for a beginner, I think that's going to be really difficult to replicate. So I think this would help people just to pull the trigger as the steps hit. You don't really have to think about it. Like once those conditions are met, you get in. So that is the weekly open. And then on the 1 hour time frame, you want price to be under the weekly open. And then using market Cipher B, you want the wave to hit the oversold level. So I'm using the -60 line for that. And once that happens, you want a body to close above the 8 EMA. And you can see it's not perfect. Sometimes you do, if you have a very tight stop loss in that, you're obviously going to get taken out. And it's usually a regular divergence that's going to stop you out. But we're aware of that. That's the only obstacle to the entry conditions. So if you're aware that a regular divergence can stop you out, you could just wait for that and get in after that. And then that would be your entry. And that's it. That's your move for the week.
That. So you're using it weekly, almost like an anchoring bias where you let the new week, the new weekly candle happen, and that way you get a good price for the week off the rip. Yeah.
And I can show you, I'll just remove all of this, and I'm just going to take that entry. I'm just going to spread
that
this
as well.
across.
Like this is the weekly approach, and with our Discord and our approach, there's multiple pair ups. So there's weekly 1 hours, there's daily 15s, 4 hour. Like we have multiple pair ups. So we also have daily 15. So the daily candle is the 15-minute anchoring.
Yeah,
That's kind of our target as well.
that's exactly how I showed you the illustration at the start to demonstrate it. Like you're catching the wick on the higher time frame candle using market Cipher B.
Mm.
So
I love that idea of using a big time frames candle as like a defense or a cover to protect yourself mentally, not only mentally but actually from the price action on the smaller time frames.
Yeah.
I like it. It looks good.
Yeah, it's pretty straightforward. I mean, I guess like if you see, and how we like to talk about it is on a weekly or daily trend, generally speaking, you're going to have multiple red or green candles. So you're essentially just trying to catch those consecutive candles with the anchoring bias of the lower time frame.
Yeah, it's so good actually.
So
Because
what
I mean,
are...
like,
Oh, sorry. Go on.
oh no, I was just gonna say, like, especially for that, like the weekly 1 hour or the D15s, like it reduces your screen time. I mean, you saw that one was nearly like a 5x play, and you you only had to enter once this week, and you got like a 5x. I mean, some people are at the screen all day, like for 12 hours, but they're not even getting that. Do you know what I mean? And that's not like nothing against them. I'm not trying to put them down, but it's like if you could free up your time and still hit that target, why wouldn't you just do it that way? It just seems so much healthier as well.
Yeah, I would agree that whether you're whether you call yourself a swing or a scalp trader, neither of those things demands that you're at the chart for 12 hours a day, in that deleterious, bad, negative, like bad health position. It's not a long-term strategy, and so yeah, you have to learn how to optimize. And I might have some further questions for you guys, like personally after the call in regards to my strategy, because I might have something to learn from you guys in regards to how I can get my community to perform better using VWAP. So a lot of this logic looks really cool to me, and I'm gonna keep following your guys' channel, obviously, and learning with you guys. That's why Market Cipher, we're different than most indicator companies, because me and my brother, we're still learning every day. We don't come at people with oh, we're smarter than you kind of attitude, and I feel like in this space that's super rare. So but I had another question for you guys. What are like the key indicators of Market Cipher that you find most valuable to the mechanical trading process, and how do you apply them?
So I think, and this is my opinion, and Kirsten, you can jump in with your thoughts. Like you can see with Kirsten's screen, we've removed a lot of the stuff off Market Cipher. So we love the waves, we love the VWAP, we love the money flow. They're the kind of three key aspects of Market Cipher that we love, and the reason why is it's just easier to read. Like the RSIs and the stock look awesome, but they're also so choppy. It's hard. It kind of muddies up the vision of the chart sometimes. So we personally just use those three aspects of it. But in terms of the VWAP, I mean, the VWAP's super powerful. Like, essentially, what we've seen is the VWAP is essentially just waves from higher time frames. So if you can catch those, it's a similar aspect and a similar way of reading it from an anchor on a lower time frame to a higher time frame bias.
I've noticed that too. And by VWAP, they're talking about that yellow oscillator down there and the oscillator there. That's what we've traditionally called it throughout the years in the MC community. And I would agree that it sometimes one of those crosses on a big time frame like this weekly chart will basically do the work of what all the blue waves are doing. Because it's like an immediate time frame directional kind of thing, like a short term trend kind of signal. Whereas the blue waves are like, I guess, more medium term, depending on the time frame. I'm glad you guys agree with that sentiment. And then the money flow is probably more long term or more of like a leading indication, kind of telling you where things are, like where the volume and the money is going on the long term. I do use RSI myself, but we always made Market Cipher as just a grocery list of amazing tools to cherry pick from. So you got every right to craft whatever edge that you wish with the software, and looks really clean. I like it.
Yeah. No, I'm fully on the same page as Aaron. I mean, for me, it's all just the waves, as I showed you with my little illustration, my little drawing. So that's where it's at, and it works for me. And as you said, each to their own. So if you can customize a strategy based off of the items that work for you, then that's great.
So
we just want to make it easier to read.
Yeah. I got a question for you, Aaron. In regards to risk management, since she said that was your specialty. How did that become your specialty, and what are like the top lessons with risk management that you want to share?
Yeah, it's really interesting. I kind of mentioned about my dad teaching me a lot of things as well, and he's a very risk adverse person, I would say. So in trading, you can't. Sometimes being risk adverse isn't beneficial. You either don't pull the trigger, you cut your wins too early. You're scared of losses, right? So it's really interesting about risk management, and how I've learned it over time was it's really about mindset and your own personality. And that's kind of why when people say, oh, what's the best, like in Forex, I'm not sure in crypto, but a lot of people talk about what's your win rate, all these kind of things. And I kind of think that it's not about that specifically, it's more about what you can take as a person. So, when I started out as well, like I was learning from a lot of different other people as well, and someone had like a 10-to-1 ratio. So, they would lose 9 times and win 1, but they would still be profitable. And for me personally, I wasn't, mentally ready to lose 9 in a row just to win 1. Mm-hmm. So, and a lot of people, to be honest, a lot of people aren't. But people, that one winner will make them 30R or something crazy, and they're successful. But I think it all comes down to your own psychology and your mindset and what you're willing to lose to win, right? So in terms of that, like what I learned about myself and Kirsten as well was we're more inclined for a high win rate. So you rather win more times than you lose. So therefore you need to work out your percentage risk and your R to get to that stage. I mean, we're pretty generic compared to most people. We risk 1% to 2% of our account on each trade. We're trying to aim for 2.5, 3R per trade, and over time it just plays out.
Yeah. So what elements of the strategy, like as was the win rate something that like you had to work on, and were there breakthroughs that dramatically increased your win rates over time?
Yeah. So I think the biggest thing was, it sounds really simple, but when you look at a daily or weekly chart and you see consecutive candles, the reality is you're just trying to catch those consecutive candles. So the win rate is your bias, right? And then having a strategy and approach, which we've worked on together, which is those anchoring waves on Market Cipher B, allows you to increase your win rate as well, because you're having the optimum entry. Similar to what Kirsten said, you're trying to catch the wick. So we're not trying to catch the body, we're trying to catch the wick on the higher time frame, which means it gives you the most space and safety to let that trade play out.
Nice. I love that. Very good stuff. Very good stuff. Yeah, risk management for me was tough because, coming at this, my background was not in trading. I was going to college for kinesiology, just
Oh
doing
wow.
random jobs on the side. Health and
Yeah.
fitness was like my thing because in high school I was never that fit. But the world of finance was new to me, even though I was a freedom lover and I loved cryptocurrency. The world of trading was new, and to have a brother who was live trading massive positions, that was tough on me. To like my biggest hurdle with risk management was to not operate within the shadow of other people, and to learn how to grow an account in and of itself, like in an
Yeah.
isolated mind state mentality kind of environment. And that took years because I was in the Discord with him, and our technical analyses were blended, and we would stream together, and it was hard for me to dissociate basically and like isolate my strategy from my brothers. But once I was able to do that, I was able to find success, particularly in like the ETH bull run of 21. But even during those years, the success my brother and I had, him with his $1 million trades and me with moderate success, like um, in many ways, mentally, like I definitely paid for that because that marked a top in my trading career. Even though those were successful years for me,
Yeah.
that was like a price top for me in terms of my battle with risk management and trading in general. So I've had to come up again and learn to appreciate like everything that we accomplished, but also learn to start fresh. I think that with risk
Yeah.
management, losses are a part of the game, and you come into trading super confident, and you might have your biggest losses in your first 2 years of trading, and it's like how do you grow back from that? I think
Yeah.
that's a big part of risk management and the mentality that I'm going to try to hit home this year. So
Yeah.
what do you guys have to say for someone who maybe not, maybe they didn't bomb the whole account, but maybe they just lost like 20%, and to them it seems almost impossible to regrow. How do you tackle a conundrum like that as a trader?
Yeah. Kirsten, do
Yeah.
you want to chat about that one?
Yeah. Well, as you said, Nick, it's probably like a 2-3 year journey. So, I mean, firstly, I don't know where that type of a person is in that journey, but you probably shouldn't start trading unless you're prepared to give up, a few years of your life. And that's just going to be the truth of it. And it's a very painful journey. Like, I'm not going to sugarcoat that for anyone.
Mm-hmm.
I think Aaron and I have spoken about the root cause of pain to us is loss aversion. And we've spoken about just because how human psychology is. I mean, every living creature wants to preserve themselves. Ultimately, that's it, right? And the best way to preserve yourself is through like loss aversion. And I think if you understand that that is the pain that you're feeling every time, there's nothing wrong with you. You haven't made a mistake. That is just how you are biologically hardwired. Like your body thinks that you're losing all these acorns. You're not going to survive the winter. You're going to starve to death. You just have to try and tell yourself like you're okay. This horrible
Yeah.
feeling is
I'm a
is
happy
there to try
squirrel.
and
I'm a happy
yeah,
squirrel.
exactly. You're going to be fine. And I
With
guess
the
that's
acorn.
where the risk management's important for that because position sizing needs to be smaller. If you're losing less per trade, as Aaron says, or if your win rate is higher, you're reducing that pain of loss aversion all the time. And that's
Yeah.
going to help you get through that 2-3 year journey or however long it's going to take. And that's like, I know I said to you about the fitness side of it as well, the health side. Like, that's all super important because people can get lost in the rabbit hole and you really shouldn't. I can tell you, your health will decline. You're going to lose your relationships with people. you are going to lose obviously money. Like that's the most obvious one, but you're going to lose so much
Your
if you get
focus. Yeah, there's
trapped.
so much to that.
Yeah.
I seen you guys on your Instagram. Are you shredded still, Kirsten? Or I'm pretty sure I saw some picture like you were shredded. Like, are you an athlete or
um
Proud of
something?
you. We
I
tried
used
to.
to be, man, 10 years ago I had tuberculosis and it's like I've been trying to come back from that, man. It was not easy.
Well, yeah,
So
that's something I noticed is a lot of our traders, they do have a strong fitness. Like that's what marks a great
yeah,
trader is the discipline all around.
Yeah,
And yeah, like
and
the
was
comfortability with
parental.
pain. Yeah, the comfortability
Yeah,
with the pain.
mm,
And you know, it hurts not just to lose, but also to grow. You know,
yes,
yeah,
letting a
yeah,
good trade ride can be just as painful because you want to take that money off the table and you want to it's just like, you know,
100%.
double, triple texting that girl back that you really like, you know, so you want to take the profits off the table. It's hard to let a good
Yeah.
situation ride, bro. Um,
true.
yeah, but
And
it's
to
hard to
that point,
lose.
Nick, like it's interesting with what Kirsten was saying about, and you said about the coming back from 20% drawdown, but you know, and that point you made about fitness, it's like how I like to think about and talk to a lot of people is like literally you just take day by day, week by week. Whereas if you only focus on that 20%, you're going to be like in a rabbit hole, staring at a
Absolutely.
screen, black eyes. Like you just have to take day by day, journal each week, and that's why people are into fitness as well. I feel like it's
Yeah.
like you're doing a bicep curl every day, or every second day, or every third day, and slowly, incrementally, you're going to improve. So I think that's kind of the same mindset you have to have with trading. You're just chipping away. You're slowly just chipping away, and it's just consistency over time.
Hmm. Yeah, you don't want to beat
Yeah.
yourself up. Like I've been using the Anchored View app tool by Brian Shannon for a lot of my analysis, and he's got some great lessons to teach about anchoring biases. Is like you can't put the anchor at your old total capital because then you'll
Mm.
always have that bearing down on you. You've literally put a resistance overhead for your performance. Whereas if you
Yeah.
can put an anchor at that low, like at the minus 20% value, from
Mhm.
that point, you just have to hold a steady baseline and creep your way up. There isn't any resistance overhead. There's just some soft expectations to keep. And so
Yeah,
that mindset, you know, this doesn't have to be this grueling journey
Mm,
through the gulag to regrow your account. This is
yeah.
all about, you know, starting fresh. Like you're not a I get that it's like everyone wants to become the dragon, but you got to be a chicken, then you got to
Mm,
be a pig, then you got to be a
yeah,
cow. You got to kind of take forms to get where you need to
yeah,
go. And you know, one crazy year can undo a lot.
yes,
A personal little story is my first year of trading. I lost 5 figures of settlement money that I got from surviving an accident. It was a near death accident I was in, and to lose that money was really hard on me. Took me
mm,
about 2 years to like mentally,
yeah,
you know, get back and along with everything else I was dealing with. But in 2021, all that stuff went away. Like the
yeah,
opportunities flooded in, the
mm,
trades were
mhm,
going great, the coins were pumping, and next thing I
mhm,
knew, I was in profit. And like it, those you know those bad memories were
yeah,
covered over by a rapid flood of success, and that happens in the markets. You know, it's almost like the armies of the Lord rush in to redeem you or to save you or whatever. It's like the end of Lord of the Rings. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
yeah.
So yeah, like don't just keep you know set a new anchor and
mm,
recognize that you know this account size that we're dealing with. This is you now, and it's
mhm,
only up from here. You got to have that mindset.
yeah.
That's it.
I think the other thing as well, when people get into trading, if it's all or nothing, it's really
Mm,
hard, to be honest. Like, if you don't have, and this is just how I think, if you don't have outside income initially when you start, it's really hard because you believe every trade is going to make you retire. You know, that's kind of how your mindset is when you start. But I think if you have outside income, you see it as a business, and trading has to be kind of like a business in your mind. And there's wins, there's losses, there's a profit and a loss that you have to look at the end of the year and say, how did I go? But at least you have other income to supplement that initially, and then eventually, of course, it can become your full time job or full time business.
Yeah, that's you know I always tell my students I tell them if they want to start their own trading business, talk to me because you know being a part of a trading business guarantees that you're here in the bear markets when things are cheap. It
Yeah,
mm,
guarantees that you are still here tomorrow for your clients. You know, it
yeah,
guarantees a lot of things it guarantees capital to trade with, regardless of how you do in trading. That's a nice safety, a safe feeling to have as a trader, is that backup plan.
Yeah.
You can't just like go back to waiting tables and stuff to like, it's, I mean, you
Mm.
can actually, I would say that if you did bomb stuff, like do whatever you can to work things back, because earning your way back is a great way to help your mentality, just like with that fitness stuff. Like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
but all good stuff on risk management, guys. That was super valuable. Um,
Yeah.
I guess one last question I'll ask you too is, what advice would you give to other traders who are thinking about using Market Cipher? Like they see the tool, it looks really cool. But yeah, what advice would you give to them in regards to actually using Market Cipher in their broader trading strategy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think what I would say about Market Cipher is probably first to get your head around the divergences. I think if you're able to, and I know your brother does this, Nick, a lot, where he scrunches his screen and stuff like that, and you can get like the full view, right? I think being able to see a regular divergence or a hidden divergence, firstly, I mean, if you're just playing those as well, just to start with and get used to how that moves the market, like that is a huge help. So if they've got that lens, if they can scrunch their screen and zoom out and see that, and then after that, I would focus on the wave crossing zero as well. So if you know what your directional bias is, and if there's a divergence coming in, and then if that wave is crossing zero, to just carry on going with that momentum initially, you know? If we're talking about, like, for me, bare basics, if you want to start something simple, that's what my go-to would have been.
Yeah. Yes, same as me as well. I think with Market Cipher, it gives you so many tools, which is awesome. But at the same time, when you start out, you want to make it simple and you want to just focus on one or two small things, as Kirsten said, the divergences, or even just simply just a wave cross on a higher time frame. That
Yeah.
alone can be successful and repeatable. And
Yep.
I think the thing is you have to realize as well is that you just need to be simple at the start, and then of course you can increase your R on each trade or your win rate and everything like that. But you just need to simply follow a pattern, and that's the best way.
Keep
Yeah,
it
exactly.
simple,
That's
stupid.
something. Yeah,
Yeah,
if you
yeah,
can replicate that, then you can move on to more complicated things because you have to be able to repeat that. So, yeah, if you can do that and boost your morale with like those small little victories, and then move on to something more complicated, as Aaron says. But that's how I would do it. Just very, very basic and simple to start with.
I can tell you guys are experienced traders because that's CF's approach as well, is to use the basic strategy to just
Mhm.
murder and stop making excuses and just keep it simple. Don't try to be a pencil neck and understand every little thing. Don't draw your
yeah,
divergences exactly from this point to that point.
Yeah.
My brother popped off because his TA is
so
rough, and he certainly diverged from convention to reach success. Because what
Mm.
really matters, right? Is it the exactitude of your TA, or is it the actual execution on the exchange? That's what's
yeah,
more
Yeah.
important. Abs are grown in the kitchen, not in not the work you do in the gym. And I would say the
mm,
Mm.
exchange is a lot like the kitchen.
yeah,
The charts are like the gym. It's kind
Right.
of fun to be in the charts. It's fun to be in the gym. But yeah, like remember where the results lie, and
mm,
be mindful of the pencil necks out there trying to
yeah.
get you on the
Well,
technicalities and stuff.
yeah. Well, I loved his Three Amigos and his trumpet. It's so good.
Yeah, those trumpet
So
patterns
great.
are the
The
trumpet
trumpet patterns
patterns have
work,
changed my
right?
life, man.
It's so good. Yeah,
Awesome.
nah, it's true.
So pull up the YouTube channel or whatever. Let's see the YouTube channel real quick. I'm watching your screen.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is their YouTube channel. They put out regular content. It's all good learning content. They've got this TP Mint website you can check out for more info. And yeah, make sure everybody, you have to like and subscribe to these guys, and also like and comment on the video. Let me know what you thought about this trader spotlight. And man, I'm so happy that you guys agreed to do this.
Yeah,
To elevate Kirsten in particular on the channel was important to me because I got all these sweaty pencil necks that I've been bringing on here, and to have a girl who's a
yeah,
really good trader
Thanks, man.
shows that that we're a diverse
Yeah.
we're a diverse community. I think that's important to show. It's really cool to see traders working together, because that's
Mhm.
always been my experience as a trader, is being with the community, being alongside my brother. Um, the one last thing I would want you guys to talk about here is how has it been working with someone? Do you guys butt heads, or have
Mhm.
you learned to work together?
I
Well,
think
I
Ara
think
and I
it's
work together
yeah,
great. We've never
yeah.
had
I
an
think
argument.
honestly, like that's why we connected on socials is because similar mindset, similar approach. We're pretty chill people as well, so we have a laugh all the time.
Yeah.
But you know what? Like trading can be lonely by yourself, so having someone else you
Mm,
can just bounce ideas and chat and share knowledge and share ideas is
mm.
so important, and that's why we have our community as well that we want to build.
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't be in the position that I'm in now without Aaron. Aaron and Benson, like they've helped me so much, man. So it's definitely not like a one-man army at all. Like I have to say like a huge thanks to them as well.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah, being gracious of the people that got us where we are, not having any animosity for let's say Arn's a way better trader than you, Kirsten. Like there's no animosity there.
No,
There's
it's
none of
just
that.
respect and admiration
Yeah,
for anybody who can do this because it's such a difficult thing to do, man, for sure.
yeah. I love the mentality. I love what you guys. I love how much we agree on. That shows that
Mm.
we've come a long way as a space,
Yeah.
finding the various truths in regards to trading. And I know this video is going to be valuable to a lot of people.
Mm.
So thank you guys. Thanks for being a part of the Market Cipher fam for all these years, for crafting these beautiful strategies. And I just wanted to say, on behalf of my brother and everyone, thank you.
Yeah,
Well, thanks for
thanks for
having
the
us on. It's
opportunity,
been awesome.
Nick. We really appreciate it,
Yeah,
man.
really appreciate it.